In this segment, we will discuss two examples considering a complete MRP matrix. So in the previous example, we actually didn't consider schedule receipts or open orders. Next example, the time period into future for which we are making the MRP matrix is called planning horizon, and this top row shows the time. These are often a week, but can be any length of time. So generally it is week, but it could be uh, a day as well. So the number of periods in the record is called the planning horizon, that is 5 weeks in this case. An item is considered available at the beginning of the time bucket. So we have discussed this. Projected available, that is actually not projected available. That is schedule receipts. So an item is considered available at the beginning of the time bucket in which it is required. So that is for these three: schedule receipts, planned order receipt, and planned order release. So that quantity is considered available at the beginning of the time. The quantity shown in the projected on hand row is the projected on hand at the end of the period. So this quantity. So that is at the end of the period. So how long should be the planning horizon? That is 5 weeks in this case. So just like in MPS, it should be at least as long as the cumulative product lead time, and preferably slightly greater than that. So this is the basic MRP logic. I would recommend you to just go through it. So the basic idea is the net requirements, and net requirements are the gross requirements minus schedule receipts minus previous period's inventory. So if we are not considering safety stock, so if in any period that quantity goes below zero, that is if it goes negative, then we will have schedule receipts. Otherwise, if we have safety stock, so this net requirements, if it were to go below the safety stock, would trigger a planned order receipt. So that is the basic idea, and that is very similar to the logic of MPS. So we will solve quickly the example considering the complete MRP matrix. So in this case, we have 150 projected available, and there are a gross requirement of 50. So there are no net requirements in week 1. After meeting this requirement of 50, we will have a projected available of 100. Now you can see that in week 2, we have a scheduled receipt of 200. And there is a gross requirement of 250. So the total on hand will be 100 plus 200. So 100 from the previous period plus 200 scheduled receipts, something that we had ordered before this week 1, but we are receiving at the beginning of week 2. So 300. Gross requirements are 250. So what we have on hand is greater than the gross requirement, and after meeting these requirements, we will have 300 minus 250, so 50 available at the end of week 2 as well. So in week 2, we have 50 available and the requirements are 100. So we will have the net requirements of 50. So that is actually 100 minus 0 schedule receipts minus 50 from previous period. So that is 50. But we will not place an order of 50 because our lot sizes is 200 and lead time is is 2 weeks. So we will have a scheduled receipt of 200 here. And we will offset the lead time and place the order at the beginning of week 1. So we have 50 from the previous period plus 200 from this period. That is the planned order receipt. So 200 plus 50, 250. And after meeting the requirement of this 100, we will have 150 available at the end of period 3. So 250 minus 100 is 150. So we have gross requirement of 50 in week 4. So after meeting those requirements, we will have 100 available at the end of period 4. So just one additional point in this example was the concept of schedule receipts that we had at the beginning of week 2. The rest of the logic is the same. But in order to find the net requirements, we have to subtract schedule receipts and projected available from the gross requirements. So that will be the net requirements. And again, if we are not considering the safety stock, if net requirements are there, that is if the projected available goes negative, then we will have the schedule, we will have the plan order receipt, otherwise not. So just like in MPS, just keep in mind that the output of the MRP matrix is the last row. So that is either planned order release or purchased order release. So that is the output of MRP.